and for today I'd like to talk about setting up an OwnCloud server using Ubuntu Server. Okay, now since I'm on a Mac, we're going to download VirtualBox and create a virtual instance of Ubuntu Server so that we can kind of walk through the entire process of installing Ubuntu Server, installing OwnCloud, and we'll even go a little bit further and do the entire configuration so that you can see what it takes in order to be able to access your files from home, from work, from anywhere in the world. And you don't even need to have a static IP address from your internet provider. You can do this with a regular internet connection. You don't need anything fancy. So let's jump right into it. Alrighty, so the first thing we're going to do is open up Google Chrome, and we are going to go to virtualbox.org. We're going to let that load up. Alright, then we're going to go to the download section, and we're going to choose OS 10 hosts. Alright, I'm going to let that download. And while that's downloading, we can also go ahead and download the Ubuntu server. So we'll go to ubuntu.com, go to the Downloads tab, and we're going to choose Ubuntu Server, and we're going to choose 16.04.3 lifetime support. And that download button will download the ISO. And the first thing we're going to do is open up VirtualBox, and we're going to install the package. Continue, install. Alright, I'm going to close, and I'm going to keep that. Okay, let's open up the applications folder and find VirtualBox. Alright, now we're going to create a new VirtualBox. We're going to name it OwnCloud. Choose Linux and Ubuntu 64-bit. Memory size, I like to keep it at 2048, so just about 2 gigs. You don't really need much memory for this. We're going to create a virtual hard disk, and we're going to dynamically have allocated storage. I'm going to choose an external drive for this. It's a USB drive. You can choose a drive anywhere you like. And I'm going to give it a fair amount of space, about 500 gigs, or 512 to be exact. Alright, now under storage, we're going to choose IDE, secondary master, and we're going to find that download that we have of Ubuntu. And we're going to hit open, and OK. Alright, let's go ahead and start the VirtualBox. Alright, we're going to choose our language, English, United States in my case, and I'm going to let it find our layout. We're going to press Y, W, and it's going to ask if we see any of these keys, which I don't. This may vary for you, so just do this based on what your setup looks like. And once that's done, we're going to give the host name OwnCloud. Alright, we'll hit continue and give a full name for the new user. I'm also going to name it OwnCloud. You can name it whatever you like. You can name OwnCloud user or user 1, user 2, whatever you prefer. We're going to choose a password for this user. I'm going to change it up a little. All right. And re-enter that password. Excellent. And do we want to encrypt? Yes, let's go for the encryption. All right, and it's confirming my time zone, which is perfect. Okay, looks good. And we're going to do guided use entire disk. All right, and we're going to confirm that. And we're going to say yes, make changes. How it should be set up. We're not going to do any proxies, so just hit continue on that. And we're going to install security updates automatically. Always good to have updates for security. And we're going to choose a LAMP server. You're going to hit the space bar to confirm it, and then return to continue. We're going to set a root password for MySQL or MySQL. I prefer SQL, but people usually say SQL. There was one other thing that we could have enabled, which was OpenSSH, but we'll just enable that manually once we get into the installation. We're almost there. Just installing the bootloader. You can say yes and hit return to confirm. All right, installation is complete, and it's just letting us know, hey, we're about to reboot, and you should eject the CD-ROM. So we'll go ahead and do that. Go back to storage. Looks like it froze up on me just a little. There we go. Seems to have automatically ejected, but in any case, if it hasn't, you can just click on it again and choose your internal CD drive. All right, now we're here at our OwnCloud login. We're going to type in OwnCloud because that's the name that we gave our user and the password. Okay, looks like we successfully logged in. All right, now what we're going to do is go into the root user, so type sudo -i. And now we're going to create another user by typing add user, and then the name of the user, which in my case is going to be sudo OwnCloud. Now it's going to ask for a new Unix password. This is going to be the password for this user, and retype it. And it's going to give the user a name. I'll just name it the same thing. And we'll hit yes, the information is correct. Right, and we're going to type usermods -a uppercase G sudo OwnCloud. This is making the user a root user. Who am I is just to see what user I'm logged in as. I just wanted to confirm that I'm logged in as a root user. All right, just going to reboot and try to log in with the new user that we just created. All right, and sudo OwnCloud, and we're going to type the new password. Excellent. So we were able to successfully create a new user. So what we're going to do from here is install OpenSSH. This was that part that we skip past, so we'll do it now. And we're going to confirm, yes, and we're going to continue. It's going to install the packages here. All right, now what we're going to do is enable SSH login, and we're going to do that by changing the directory that we're currently in by typing cd/etc/ssh, and then I'm going to do an ls command to see what files are listed. And once I'm in there, I'm going to nano in to sshd_config, and we're going to make one change here. It's going to be enabling root login. So right now it's prohibit. We're going to erase that, and we're going to type yes. Okay, and then Control X to exit. And once you hit Control X, you can hit yes to confirm the changes for Y, and hit return one more time. Oh, you know what? I just realized we didn't type sudo. We were actually performing these actions not as a root user, so we don't have permission to this. So let's redo this again. Same kind of steps. I'm just going to back out of here, and we're going to try this again as root. So essentially typing sudo and not just nano. So hit cancel. We're going to try to exit out of this and type no, and let's do that again. So this time typing sudo nano, and the name of the file sshd_config. Alrighty, now that we're in, we should be able to make this change without problem. Alright, Control X, Y, and return. Excellent. Now let's just double check to make sure that that change has been made. We'll type nano. This time we don't need the sudo sshd_config. You just want to make sure that that yes is actually in there. And it looks like it is. Prevent root login. That change has been written to the file. Alright, so we can exit out of here. Control X. And the main reason for enabling SSH is really just to be able to get the command line on my Mac and not have to work through this virtual box here. What is this here? For some reason it's not letting us restart SSHD, but let's try that again. Authentication canceled. Looks like it's spazzing out on us a little. Let's try this again. Control C to quit whatever's running in the foreground, and we'll type that again. Sudo service SSHD restart. There we go. Looks like we're in business. Alright, let's drop down a couple of lines. What we're going to do now is just change our root password. So we're going to type sudo passwd root, and we're going to type a new Unix password and a new Unix password once again. We're doing this all essentially just to have the ability to work out of the terminal in Mac OS Sierra instead of working in this virtual box environment, because it'll give us a little more freedom. Essentially, we can copy and paste and do that kind of stuff there. Alright, password has been updated successfully. You don't have to worry about that change directory in ls that I did. I was just confirming what directory I was in. But at this point, let's open up terminal. Alright, and I'm just going to expand a little so that you guys can have a better view. See if I can get a nice kind of a homebrew look. Leave the homebrew. You could remember where the setting is located. Nice. That would definitely help us. Make the screen a bit larger. Get rid of that other window. We won't be needing it. Excellent. All right. And we're going to type SSH root at 10.0. I can't remember the IP. So we're going to type ifconfig on the VirtualBox and just confirm what our IP address is. And let's go into settings, and we're also going to change the adapter to bridged adapter. This is an important part, mainly because we want to get an IP address from our router. This is going to be crucial to getting this to actually work. So what I just did there is set it, and I'm rebooting now so that we get an IP address directly from our router. I have an Airport Extreme, whatever you have. May vary. All right, and we're going to do sudo OwnCloud. That was the user that we created, and the password. Okay. I have config once again to get our IP address, which is 10.0.1.13. Let's type that in to our terminal window. Excellent. Okay, now it says, hey, I couldn't confirm the authenticity. No problem. We're going to hit yes, and we're going to type the root password. This is the root password that we just recently reset. All right, drop down a couple of lines. Okay. So what we're going to do now is create an SSL certificate, okay? And we're going to do that by typing a2enmod SSL, and return. I'm going to do service Apache 2 restart. This is to reboot the service. All right, that looks good. And we're going to do OpenSSL gen RSA space dash out OwnCloud dot key 2048. This is the level of encryption. And we're going to hit return. Okay, that looks good. And then we're going to do open SSL req space dash new space dash key OwnCloud dot key dash out OwnCloud dot CSR. And we're going to enter the info as requested. US for the country, whatever state you're in, the town that you're in, or the city. I'm located in Bridgeport, Connecticut. All right, the organization name, for us it's going to be TechCore Duo. Unit name, doesn't really matter. We can do TCD here, which is short for TechCore Duo. We'll give a common name, which is going to be OwnCloud, and our email address. Please do not send us any spam. We would greatly appreciate if you didn't. All right, then this is a challenge password and company name. TechCore Duo. Okay. Now we're going to type open SSL x509-req-days 365. So this is the amount of days that our certificate is going to be valid for. Dash in OwnCloud.csr space dash sign key OwnCloud.key dash out and OwnCloud .crt. Okay, now that these files have been created, once we hit the return key here, right, what we need to do is move them into the certs folder located within the etc folder within the SSL folder. So we're going to type mv space ownCloud.crt, just ls just to confirm that the files are there. As you can see, ownCloud.crt is there, and so is ownCloud.key. You can we don't need the ownCloud.csr any longer. So mv ownCloud dot I think we're going to do crt first. ownCloud.crt space /etc /SSL and /certs. All right, let's hit return. We should not get any error once the move has occurred. All right, and we're going to do mv ownCloud.key, same follows, /etc /SSL and /certs. That's the directory where we need these files to be located. All right. Going to cd /etc /apache2 /sites -available. We're going to this directory to make changes to our default config file. All right, now that we're in this directory, we're going to go to nano 00 default .conf. You don't have to type sudo because you're already root, just something you should be aware of. So from here, first thing we can do is change our port to port 443, which is SSL, instead of port 80. Okay. And then we're going to give the directory of our SSL certificate key file and our SSL certificate file. So drop down a couple of names, a couple of lines right in between the server name. Enable SSL engine, and we're going to type SSL certificate file /etc /SSL /certs /ownCloud.crt. That's the file that we just moved. SSL certificate key file /etc /SSL /certs and /ownCloud.key. Okay, and we're going to remove this and change our server name. It's going to be https // and the IP address of the server. And if I'm not mistaken, it was 13. I've configured one more time on the actual virtual box. Yep, 10.0.113. So we're good. We're going to do one other thing. This is an important step as far as not having your IP address change. So we're going to make it static. I'm going to edit this inside of my airport. And you're going to go to the network tab. We're going to hit add. We go into the settings on the virtual machine network. And under advanced, you're going to be able to see your MAC address. So let's give this a description over here, OwnCloud. We're going to reserve by MAC address. And just copy that over. Okay, and here we're setting up a port forward. This port forward is necessary so that once you reach your external IP address, it knows where to go from your internal one. Okay, and that 10.0, that 113 is the same. We're going to hit continue. Perfect. Alrighty. Alright, so we have our SSL engine on, we have our SSL certificate key file, we have our SSL certificate file, we know that all those are in the right places, and from here we can save and exit. And we're going to hit yes. So Y will confirm the change and return. Drop down a couple of lines, and I'm just going to take a look at that file one more time just to make sure that we made those changes. SSL engine is on, the server name is there, and we have our SSL certificate key files, no typos, triple check, quadruple check if you can. Alright, and we're going to exit out of here. Okay, so now that we're out of here, the next thing we're going to do is actually download OwnCloud. Okay, and I'm going to have this in the description so you guys can just copy and paste. It's a lot to type out, so it'll be a lot easier if you just copy and paste it from the description. I'm just going to change the directory to get to the root of the directory, to the top of the directory, whatever you want to call it. That's not necessary, but I like to do it anyway. All right, and copy and paste. This is just the directory or where the where it should be downloaded from. You'll hit return. Okay, and we'll paste the second line. We'll hit return again. This is coming from the OwnCloud website. This is as per their instructions. All right, then we're going to do apt-get update. Let that run. And then we're going to do sudo apt, make sure it says done before you start typing, sudo apt-get install OwnCloud. And it says it's going to take space, yes, and return. Sudo systemctl reload Apache 2 just to dig a little deeper. And we'll do another one. Service Apache 2 reload. All right, and at this point, we're going to configure MySQL. All right, drop down a couple of lines. MySQL-u space root-p. Okay, this is going to ask us for a new password for the root user on SQL. All right, and it looks like we're in now. We're going to create a database. So we're going to all caps create database space OwnCloud, and make sure to use a semicolon. All right, then we're going to do grant all on OwnCloud dot asterisk 2. I'm just going to copy one of these little straight. There you go. Make sure to use the straight apostrophes and not the curved ones because they perform a totally different function. So I usually just copy and paste them because it confuses the heck out of me on how to make it on the keyboard. So just be aware of that. Alright, identified by, and this is going to be a password, also a straight apostrophe. Applesauce, that's my password. Don't copy it. Also, don't try to hack into my own cloud server, because I will obviously change the password. Alright, now we're going to do flush privileges. Semicolon, excuse me. Let's try and visit our website. Let's see what happens. It's going to be HTTPS, that's a very important part of it, 10.0.1.13/OwnCloud. Alright, now it's letting us know this connection is not private. It actually is okay because we have a self-signed SSL certificate, so it's a little confused as to what's happening. Alright, we can create a new user with a new password. It's going to be anything you want. Alright, make sure the directory is correct. And now we're going to set the database user, the database password, and a database name. Okay, this database name is the one that we just created when we were in the MySQL in terminal. And it's going to be that same password. Mine was applesauce, if you remember. It will not be that, I promise you. So nobody can hack into this. It's not a challenge, but I'm just saying. And we're going to leave it at localhost. Alright, let's hit finish setup. And there we are. We're in our OwnCloud server. Let's try to upload a file. I'll go to my desktop and see if we can pull in this text document that I created. Open, and there you go. We have successfully uploaded a file. Alright, now this portion is crucial because if you want to be able to access this from outside the network, you have to figure out, you have to get a subdomain essentially. Alright, so you can get a free one from freedns.afraid.org. You're going to go into subdomains. I'm going to log in here with my account. I already have one. I just want to show you what it looks like. You can pick from a whole bunch of different ones. So for example, it's going to be YouTube watcher 1.mooo.com or .org, or depending on what they have available. Looks like I forgot my password here. I'm just going to retype it again. And you'll have a few options to choose from, and then you can create your own custom subdomain. But that's mine there. It's attached to my IP address, and that's how you're gonna kind of access your server from outside the network. Technically, you can use just your IP address, but having a subdomain is just nicer. Alright, we're gonna close that out. And now we're gonna make some changes to our PHP config file. Let it know that, hey, if somebody's coming in from this IP address, it's okay, allow it. If somebody's coming in from this specific subdomain, it's okay, allow it. And I'm going to walk you guys through that as well right now. All right, we're just going to exit out of MySQL by typing exit. We're going to change directory to var/ww ls. We're going to go into listing, just making sure that OwnCloud's there. We're going to change directory into OwnCloud, so cd OwnCloud. All of this is just essentially navigating the file system, so don't get afraid if you see any kind of crazy stuff here. All right, and we're going to cd into the data folder. All right, and we need, actually wait, it's not in the data folder. It is in, what folder is it in? Oh, it's actually in the config folder. So we're going to cd back into the OwnCloud var www/OwnCloud, and then we're going to cd into the config folder. So it's cd config ls, there we go, that's what we want, config php. So now we're going to nano config.php. Okay, and we're going to add a trusted domain. Drop down a line, we're going to use the equals, we're going to use the less than sign. All right, and also remember you need the straight apostrophe. It can't be the curly one or the angled one. It has to be the straight one. So you can just copy and paste one over, or if you know the keyboard shortcut, you can make it that way. All right, I'm just going to confirm my IP address here. This is my external IP address that's coming in from my modem. All right, then a comma, and just change that to a 1 and not a 0. And we'll do one more for our subdomain, and you'll do the same for your subdomain. 2 equal sign less than, and go ahead and type in our subdomain. And another comma. All right. Now we're going to control X, get out of here, and save the changes. All right. And to confirm that these changes were successful, I actually have I'm going to put up a video of me on another external like Wi-Fi network, like Optimum Wi-Fi, to show you that you can upload a file from your laptop or from your iPad. And right now I'm just doing a service Apache reload, just kind of restarting the web server. Okay, and at this point I'm just going to hop over to another screen and show you what it looks like on one of my other devices. And I'll also even put up a video to show you how to set it up on an iPad. The only thing about the iPad side of things is that you will need a Apple ID to purchase the app. I believe it's like $3 or $5, but in any case, I think that's well worth it for what you get. All right, and let me just put those up on the screen. I'm gonna go to my subdomain. You shouldn't try this subdomain because I'm gonna delete it right after I'm done with this project. But you go ahead and type yours in, like we talked about. You're gonna get this connection is not private only because our certificate is self-signed. And here you can see I'm on Optimum Wi-Fi, so it's an outside network, just to confirm that we can reach it from the outside world. All right, now we're just going to log in with our ID that we created, or user account that we created. Mine was Apple. And we're in. So from here you can upload files, download files, view anything that you have on your personal cloud server, which is pretty awesome, and you don't have to pay any monthly subscription fees for OwnCloud. I mean, not OwnCloud, but like iCloud or Google Drive. And I'm just gonna upload a file for argument's sake, just to make sure we don't have any write permission problems. And there you go, successfully uploaded. Let's quit out of that. And if I refresh here, it should be inside of here as well. And there it is. That's the same screenshot. I also have my iPad up now, just to show you what it looks like on iOS. So essentially, it's the same kind of login. It automatically will place the HTTPS in there for you, so you don't actually have to do it because it knows that it has to be SSL before it actually logs in. And then just put the username in and the password. And voila, you're in your OwnCloud on your iPad as well. So you have a kind of entire ecosystem of, of a way to store your files and access your data without having to rely on Apple or Google. And all of this is stored personally on your hardware. So thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.